Charles Hooper. It's been exciting. It's been exciting. Charles Hooper.
One night last week, I was out for a jog. It had been raining, streets were wet, no sidewalk in my neighborhood. Going along the street, and all of a sudden this car comes around the corner too fast and he's sliding into me. I have nowhere to go. So I dive over this hedge into my neighbor's mud. I wasn't hurt. I sat up in the mud. My heart was pounding, not fast, but just beating, like it wanted to get out of my chest. I thought, wow, my entire life, I think I've only had a couple of other times that same feeling. One was 1969, Woodstock, New York. Two things had my heart beating. One toilet for every 3,000 people. And 450,000 people there, and I'm afraid of crowds. I went dazed like this. Second time I thought of, 1929. Probably think of it as the Wall Street crash. What got me excited is not what you might think. Friends, relatives, neighbors, enemies banding together to pull each other through a very trying time. It just made me feel good. The heartbeat, hard, but not fast. The only other time in my life I can remember the same feeling. A group of us were hired by the United States government to go into a cavern, some caves up in Montana, and just kind of draw out what was inside. What did it look like? They were thinking of turning it into a national park at one time. Tied two of us together with a rope, one guy with a kerosene lantern, that was Ralphie, my buddy. I'm the guy with a pencil and paper. I'm just going to draw, I'm going to do some visual measurements. Cheap, easy survey to get this started. We walk in, there's 8 of us, 2 at a time. It is so dark. It is so quiet. Scary. All of a sudden, the noise, it's like 10,000 bison stampeding overhead. Just this incredible thunderous roar. The wind, we went from total calm to wind so bad it was knocking us over. It felt like we were in a hurricane or a tornado. It blew out the lanterns, and about that time, whoa! And I felt something hit my neck so bad. I felt like I'd been stabbed. And when I reached up, there was something moving. So I threw it down. Scared me. Just then, the winds stopped. The noise stopped. We were sitting there in the dark. Ralphie lit his lantern and went, oh my goodness, you need to look at what's down here. And he held the lantern down to my feet, and there was what looked like a giant rat with wings, and I can swear to God, that rat smiled at me, rolled around, flapped those wings, and was gone. And then Ralphie held the lantern up and said, oh man, you're in trouble. You've got a couple of huge holes in your neck and you're bleeding. I put my hand up and I felt the warm blood. My heart just pounding again, wanted to be out of my chest. I was so scared. I knew I was going to die, or at least have a bad infection, get sick. Well, obviously I didn't die, and I didn't get infected. I didn't get sick. 3 days later, everything was healed, I was fine. And today when I look back, sitting there in the mud, look back at that time and say, you know what? I haven't had a sick day, an injury that didn't heal in a day or two, since that time. And I think to myself, that day, in June, in Montana, 1892, probably the luckiest day of my life. Madam Toastmaster.